The monks and nuns of different traditions in the United States and Europe and elsewhere are powerful advocates for social justice, tapping those people to march with us, to make their voices really loudly heard, to mirror what's happening with the monks and nuns in Tibet in terms of making the statement that we must have social justice, we must have freedom in Tibet. I think that that would be something that we could reach out and get a powerful response, and it would ripple outward.
I think this kind of solidarity from other faith and other tradition is really important and critical, and at the same time one of the obstacles right now may be some sort of a barrier of understanding and some sort of also a different way of looking at self-immolation. There may be people who look at self-immolation and sort of feel that I don't want to be part of this, you know. And that's what happened actually back in the 60s when the Vietnamese monks were taking this action to protest the regime that was persecuting Buddhists at that time, Ngo Dinh Diem's regime. And at that time, Thich Nhat Hanh, the well-known Buddhist teacher, he teaches all over the world nowadays. He wrote a letter to Dr. Martin Luther King at that time, you know. And in that letter, I really encourage everybody to read that letter. If you go to Google and look for Thich Nhat Hanh's letter to Martin Luther King about self-immolation, you will find that letter. And it's a short letter, but it's an open letter where he explains why the monks are taking that action, why the monks are doing that. And it was his effort to explain to his Christian counterpart, you know, to his Christian counterpart, Martin Luther King, as a preacher. He explains, you know, he says that some of our, you know, brothers in other traditions might have doubts or, you know, sort of difficulty understanding something like this, but from a Buddhist perspective, you know, this is the context, you know. And he quotes the Lotus Sutra, and he talks about how a high degree of compassion and altruism is actually what is driving this kind of action. And he says it is very, very different from suicide, because people look at this and say that's suicide, you know. But Thich Nhat Hanh argues that it is not suicide. It is an offering, and it's a completely different kind of tactic. So I think in that letter, I think we can, you know, find some context that we can use if we can approach some other people of different faiths and ask for their support. Because I totally agree that, you know, having their solidarity and support for social justice could go a really, really long way, because they have a support base and an audience and a grassroots public that we find very difficult to reach sometimes. So thank you so much.